Hello everyone, and welcome to Michael Logan, episode 2. At the end of episode 1, our man had felt a confession coming on, and he'd promised Denise that he was going to stop scamming immediately. And the last few lines of their conversation started at 16:29 UK time on a Tuesday. Well, meanwhile, over on Annie's Facebook account, I was talking to a fellow Scambaiter who just suggested an account that I should send a friend request to. I said to my fellow Scambaiter, please send this guy a friend request and tell me if he accepts it. He swears that as of today he's a reformed character, obviously. I then added underneath, one of my other girls might send him a request. My fellow Scambaiter replied, I sent him this. Hello there. I think you asked me for a friend request, but I don't think I know you. We'll see if he answers. And a few minutes later, he answered. What should I ask him? To which I replied, ha ha, Annie just sent him a friend request too. Just try a general chat and see if he tells you the usual story. He has an 11-year-old daughter, Grace Lynn. Look, you can see this is at 16:39, exactly 10 minutes after he'd told Denise that he wasn't going to scam again. He has an 11-year-old daughter, Grace Lynn. His wife either A, died in a plane crash, B, died of pancreatic cancer. He works in Poland, and his daughter lives with her nanny, obviously, unless she's died, or as he put it, she kicked the bucket in January. But he's assured Denise that he's quitting scamming as of today. For some strange reason, Denise doesn't believe him. Oh, I did tell him he was going on YouTube, but he has no idea why. My friend came back. He said this, I have a home in, and he gave my friend exactly the same address he'd given Denise. Yup, said I, that's the one. I sent her the screenshot that I put in the video of that expensive house he claimed to have bought. And so, my friend started posting screenshots of her conversation. He'd started by asking her if she knew someone called Tim. It's been a long time I saw Tim, he said. We were very close in the US Army, but he was transferred. I have a daughter who's 36 years old, said my friend. Do you have children? No, he said. I lost my daughter, Grace Lynn. I'm divorced. So sad, said my friend. How? To which I rather cattily replied, she must have really kicked that bucket hard. Let me guess, she either had food poisoning or pneumonia, or has he thought of something more serious since this morning? Not wishing to disappoint, of course, our man had thought of something more serious. She died of lung cancer, he said. Lung cancer? At a young age? Said my friend. It's so sad. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It kills me. Yes, which is very rare. I guess my ex-wife was careless. She didn't care much about her. I was a nurse, said my friend, and never had a patient with lung cancer at a young age. I was on deployment when that happened, said our man, who'd told Denise that he was a businessman in Poland. On a deployment, said I. He's changed career. I guess the nanny got fired and his ex got reincarnated. You see, miracles do happen. To which my friend replied, use these in your videos if you want. I give my complete permission. Obviously, I wasn't going to turn that down. Our man continued. I was on a deployment when that happened. That was what she told me, but I guess she lied to me. Okay, I'm so sorry for that, said my friend. I hope you get grief counselling to help you through the tough times. Sure. So you're on deployment to where? My brother spent 30 years in the US Army. I'm currently in, guess where? Afghanistan, for a peacekeeping mission. Yet another one that didn't get the memo. Wow! That's cool, he said, in reply to my friend, telling him that her brother had spent 30 years in the army. Really? Said my friend. That seems funny. All our military were removed in 2021. Is it the Canadian military? She asked. No, I mean the US Army. 2 main units are deployed in Afghanistan to support the non-combatant evacuation mission currently. Okay? Well, they've been removed. The Taliban's taken over all the US bases there. So what do you really do? Saying you're there doesn't impress me much. It tells me you're lying, so please be honest with me." "Of course. You're right," said our man. "I went to be with a friend's family. I don't have any relatives in the States. I stay alone in my house. I lost my daughter and am still grieving. I just want to keep my head calm." "So that's no reason to lie to me. I don't like liars," said my friend. "I was just trying to act like a man." "So you're a young man?" "Yeah, I'm looking for a good woman like you to be with in the rest of my life." "Really?" asked my friend. "And where do you really live?" "I'm in UK now, but I think I'll be leaving soon, maybe ending of the month." "Really?" said my friend. "Maybe more south of the UK?" "Don't be piss, okay?" he said. "Manchester," he told her. "Don't be piss," said my friend. "What does that mean?" "Don't be upset," he said. "So I'm not supposed to be upset that you lied to me?" I didn't know how to make friends growing up until now. Of course you should." "Oh, well, that's a bad start," said my friend. "Try being honest. So what do you really do for a job?" My friend then said, "Was he looking to marry you?" I don't think he asked Denise if she'd marry him, but he continued, "I have come across a lady I was to be married to, but she didn't like me because I'm a project manager. She wanted me to join the military, and I wanted to." "Project manager for what?" asked my friend. "I manage my business here." "I'm a healthcare project manager. It also involves supply of healthcare products and facilities, as well as renovating and restructuring of healthcare centres in rural areas." "Healthcare project manager? What do you do?" asked my friend. "I supply healthcare products to any country." "OK, sounds all right, and more honest than a military man in a country we no longer are at." "Sure, I really had a bad day. I just had to come online, but had no reasonable person to talk to. So many ladies here, they're really disturbing me, and I don't like it." "There are lots of reasonable people to talk to, if you're honest with them," said my friend. "They after my money, nothing else," he said. "They aren't reasonable, I guess. Not till we started talking. I still get lots of messages from them. Some I block them," which I think probably tells you how long he's been scamming. "I don't need anyone's money," said my friend. "I have plenty of my own." "Sure you do," he said. "How's the weather like over there?" "Cold and snowy," replied my friend, "which is good for my ski resort." "All right then, I'm sorry for my manners. OK, I thought it was probably one of those ladies disturbing me. I'm sorry. OK?" "Oh, honey, don't flatter yourself," replied my friend. "All right, sweetheart, but we aren't friends yet," he said, because my friend had sent him a message request, not a friend request. "No," she said, "I only add people I know in person. It's a personal preference." "I will if you want," he said. Am I irritating?" "No," she said, "I have no problem being friends on chat here. So I have to stay if you want to talk to me." "Do I? Of course I do." "What do you want to talk about?" she asked. "Nothing yet. We're friends, right? Nice to meet someone who isn't poor, like most of the men that have no money of their own and want a woman to take care of them," she said. "That's why I work harder," he said. "I don't want to be an independent man." "You don't want to be independent on yourself," she said. "Whoops," he said. "Dependent, I mean. I hate depending on someone." "Oh, great," she said. "You had me worried there. Like when I remember those time I was being given everything. Not now any more. Oh, sorry, sweetheart." "I don't give my money out to anyone online," said my friend. "Same here." "Good," she said. "OK, I have to go now. I have friends coming over for lunch." "Wow! Wish to have a lunch with you someday. Maybe someday you can visit this state," she said. "You can write to me in Google Chat if I don't come here. OK? I only go on Google Chat once a week to check my junk mail," she said. "I like Facebook because my business is here." Over on Google Chat, my friend was convinced that someone else in the team had taken over. I was never quite so sure, because he'd done the same thing to Denise, working his way down that famous list of questions. So over on Chat, he'd asked my friend, "How often do you go to church?" "I don't discuss religion with anyone," she said. "OK, different subject, please." "Sure, let's talk about... OK, What's your favourite colour? I don't have one, she said. I like all the colours found in nature. Come on, you should have at least one. I love blue colours, he added. No, I don't, she said. OK, do you have a favourite day of the week? Probably Friday and Saturday at the resort. I hire a band and get to mingle with the guests in the resort. That's nice. What turns you on? Excuse me, said my friend. You're being rude now. I mean, what makes you happy? Is there a particular thing you really love doing that makes you super happy? Excited? I'm going to go now, said my friend. You have a good night. Or are you mad at me? He said. You want to walk out on me? That was rather rude wording and shows a lack of intelligence, said my friend. Try acting like an intelligent man. Really? OK, said our man. I'm serious, said my friend. I know that. My daughter and my family and my friends make me happy, she said. That's nice. Our man hopped back on Facebook, and the timestamps on this, 4 p.m, are from the northeast of the United States. 5 hours behind the timestamps on my own conversations, so this was 9 p.m. at night, UK time. I'll be with you shortly, OK, he said, back on Facebook. I have other people I can talk to, she said. Take your time. I'm here. I can talk for 5 minutes. OK then. Sorry you're not on when I was, she said. Now I have to eat my dinner in 5 minutes or so. My daughter will be coming home soon. That sounds nice. It will be, guess what? So yummy, I guess. It's just soup, said my friend. Hope no one's disturbing you online here, he asked. No. What are you talking about? I have many good friends here, she said. Many who live in the town or two over. Because some ladies here are, he said, but I don't give a... Why are you swearing? Asked my friend. I'm not, he said. Yes, you did, he said. I'm sorry. Maybe you took it as a swearing. That I didn't mean to swear. But I didn't mean to swear. OK, try not to do it, she said. Sure, I won't. OK, so what are you looking for? I'm only interested in dating men that are actually here in person. I'm looking for a woman I can call my wife. Someone like you to spend the rest of our lives together. Distance isn't a barrier. Everything is possible. Well, sorry, unless you're here, that will never happen, she said. Are you sending me away? I don't get emotionally attached to people I only know online. Do you expect you and I to be like other people online, he asked, which you might not get attracted to? You are online, right? She asked. Yeah. I do not form emotions for anyone I know only online. Only time will tell how deep in love we will be. Not online, she said. There will never be love. I added, top marks for persistence. Meanwhile, he seems to have abandoned Annie. Not to worry, said I have other girls. We'll see how the first 2 videos turn out. And so, over on Annie's account, our man introduced himself as 1700 UK time, around half an hour after he'd promised Denise that he was going straight immediately. Hi, Annie, he said. Oi, it's nice to meet you. Same here. Are you related to Adams Smith, he asked. I don't think so. Who's he? Do you have anyone in the military? I don't think so. Is he a military man? Yeah, he's late. He was my friend in the States. I thought you were related to him. Sorry, I'm in the UK. That's cool. How's the weather like over there? A bit cold today and overcast, but I was at work earlier. Oh, OK. Where do you work? On the checkouts in a supermarket. What about you? OK, that's not bad, he said. It pays the bills, along with my divorce settlement. I'm a military security supervisor, said our man of many jobs. I'm currently on a deployment. Divorced? Where are you deployed? She asked. Yeah, how else would I get a divorce settlement? Afghanistan, he said, in Kabul. That's good. Why are you divorced? He was a 2-timing bastard. If you say so, I guess he was. Got kids? He was. Grown-up twins. OK then. Really? He said. in reply to her saying she'd got grown-up twins. Yes, really. All boys or girls? Boy and girl? One of each. David lives in Salisbury and Susie lives in Bournemouth. What about you? They live with you? But they'd cross-posted. Oh, OK, he said. I have been married for 13 years. I'm divorced. Before my divorce, I lost my daughter, Grace Lynn. Since then, I'm all alone in the military camp. No family. Just me and my work. I strive hard, so when I'm getting married, I will take good care of my family. How long have you been in the military? Wow! I've been in the military. This is 26 years now. A long time. Was your wife also in the military before you divorced her? Nope, he said. And she took your daughter? Nope. This, he said, copying and pasting the bit where he'd said, before my divorce, I lost my daughter Grace Lynn. She was too selfish. I thought you meant you'd lost her to your wife. After everything I gave her, the love and protection. Where'd you live when you were in the States? I have a home, he said, giving the same address as ever. That my house. I bought it and got it renovated last year. Oh, my word, said Annie. Are you super rich? What do you mean when someone's rich? He asked. I'd call being able to afford a $91 million house rich. I'm rich in materialistic, he said, but I don't have a wife anymore. You didn't earn that kind of money in the military. You must come from a rich family. Nor kids that can call me a dad. Let's not talk about money now. OK, if it's money, I have more than enough. That's good, said Annie. I want to be happy like others. My family, my wife, my kids calling me dad. That's what I want. I'm going. Bye. OK, bye, said Annie. Won't talk to you any more, he said. Oh, said Annie, what did I do? Is money all you care about, he asked. I guess you've moved on in a relationship. Who said that? It's you that lives in a $91 million house, not me. You're only talking about money, he said. So why did you tell me you live in a mega expensive house? If you weren't doing that to show off, why did you do it? I want to get married someday and settle down my family. I have money. Money isn't my problem. I thought you didn't have a family to settle down with. How can I enjoy my wealth alone? My kids are grown up. They aren't looking for a father. They already have one. Now who's talking about money? What if I die now in this war? Who will take care of my house? Tell me. If you're dead, you won't care. Yes, I know, but I'd love to get married soon. Anyway, what are you doing now? Sitting on a toadstool looking for fairies. What are you doing now? You seem to me a caring lady. I'm just exercising my office to be in online, he said, probably resting. I so wish I knew what that means, she added. OK, it means being online here in this critical time is prohibited, but I use my office to come online. Why is it a critical time? This is a military zone. For some security reasons, soldiers aren't allowed to be online, so as not to lose focus. Do you understand? Oh yeah, losing focus would be bad, she said. Brilliant! You're really smart. No one's ever called me that before. I'll be the only one to call you that. No one else should. No one else ever has. My ex told me I was a expletive, and my teachers at school told me I'd never get a job. Say they were all wrong. They were all wrong. How I wish I know them. They would have apologised to you. Don't mind what anyone says, OK? Oh, I don't. I need to go and start cooking dinner. You're beautiful, smart, intelligent, and above all, you're a complete lady any man would want. OK, take your time. Maybe send me a picture of the meal when you're done. OK? Are you some kind of weirdo? Said Annie. It's just dinner. Nope. I just want to see it. I know it will be delicious. It will be so delicious. Is it bad to ask for a picture? Hello? In case I don't reply back quick, you can message, and as well, call me on Google Chat. And so he gave her his email address. So after I'd finished cooking, oh dear, I might have forgotten to take a photograph of my dinner. Hi, said Annie. It's Annie from Facebook. I've finished my dinner now. Welcome back. That's cool. Tell me about some of the places where you've been with the army. I always wanted to travel, but my ex wasn't interested. We hardly went anywhere. Oh, OK. Any time my ex get me on a vacation, we do to Vancouver, Canada. We've been to Italy twice. That's the only country I took them to. That isn't what I asked you. I asked you where you've been with the army. Oops! Sorry! We've been to Syria, north, 4 times. Is thereabout. Russia? That was last year, September. I'm surprised Russia allows the US Army into their country. So was our man, who apparently then tied himself up in knots. Yeah! It wasn't that easy, he said. Meaning? The Russian left NATO in October. Yeah, should I say it again? I'm surprised Russia allows the US Army into their country. You're right. They probably don't have an option, he said. Who doesn't have an option? Russians, of course. That doesn't make sense. It's their country. They can decide for themselves who they'll allow in. Are you just talking rubbish to try to impress me? Are you being mean? Said our man, who was talking rubbish. I'm not totally dating the don't have an option, but at that time they didn't. That doesn't make sense either, said Annie. So they can choose where to belong, he said. You're an experienced US military man. At least try to sound like one, and type something that makes sense. Who can choose where they belong? Do you have any family in Russia? He asked, as they often do when you're asking them about something. Usually the question is, have you been to whichever country they're talking about, hoping that you haven't, and so you can't spot that they're talking ridiculous rubbish. Yes, said Annie. No, please answer the question. That's it. OK, he said. Who can choose where to belong? Russian can choose where they belong, he said. That what I mean? Of course they can't, said Annie. Are you a total idiot? And what does I'm not totally dating the don't have an option mean? Or do you just like stringing words together in the hope they might mean something? Not be impressive for an experienced military man. Did you get court-martialed? I understand the fact that you have a family in Russia, he said. I don't mean any harm to them, OK? So stop being rude. And what does I'm not totally dating the don't have an option mean? So stop typing rubbish. Then we could have a proper conversation. That was a typo. OK, he said. Sorry about that. OK, said Annie. What does it mean? It means that I'm not totally saying they don't have an option. That was what I meant. It was a typo. OK, phew, said Annie. Yeah. Now let's go back to what I said before. Perhaps you could give me a sensible answer this time, please. I'm surprised Russia allows the US Army into their country. You know, a sensible answer that actually means something. Yes, they do, he said. If you say so. Care to elaborate? As in a sensible answer, not a string of random words. And you were telling me about the places you've been to with the army. So far, you managed Syria and Russia in 26 years. Russia, he said, completely irrelevantly, joined NATO in 1994. Before. That isn't an answer to anything at all, said Annie. I did say a sensible answer, please. The conflict! OK, let's talk about something else. This is military. I can't tell you more than what I should. No, said Annie. Let you type something sensible about the military. Which is what? He asked. So you went to Russia last September, after the conflict started, so I'll try one more time to get a sensible answer out of you. Unless you're just a brain-dead, idiotic kid. I'm surprised that Russia allows the US Army into their country. I wasn't in Russia last September. OK, said our man, who tied himself so tightly up in knots that his only option was to say that he hadn't been there. And when you've thought of a sensible grammatical answer, the sort of answer a military man with 26 years' experience would give, and Annie was going to continue, but they cross-posted. Oh, so you lied to me. Great. What else have you lied about? And I didn't tell you IS citizens don't go to Russia? Please take note of this, he said. I have no idea what IS citizens are, and we're not discussing anyone's citizens going to Russia. We're talking about where you've been with the US Army. Will you tell me that we don't have Russian citizens in the US? He said. Do you understand what that means? Asked Annie. Where you have been with the US Army. Now I understand, he said. Awesome, replied Annie. You should ask where I've served, he said. So you lied when you told me you went to Russia with the army last year. What else was a lie? Listen to me, said our frustrated scammer. You asked me where I've gone to with the army, right? Awesome. Well done, said Annie. And you told me you went to Russia. Now you say you didn't, so you lied to me. That was a mistake, he said. No, it wasn't. It was a deliberate lie. So why don't you tell me where you've really been with the army? No wonder you were battling me. I'll assume 4 times in Syria was a lie too. I told you I was in the Syrian camp. The next wasn't Russia. Sorry about that. Yeah, and I don't believe that either now, said Annie. Okay, so tell me where you've really been, please, and stop behaving like an ignorant, idiotic street kid. Listen carefully. This time I should be resting by now, he said. Just listen. Don't be condescending and rude, said Annie. I'm not. I've been listening, and you keep lying. I've been to Syrian camp 4 times, he said. So tell me something truthful, and I won't have to keep asking you questions because you keep typing rubbish. Okay, in 26 years in the army, you've been to Syria 4 times. Where else have you been? I've been to Kabul in Afghanistan 3 times before I lost my daughter. Syria 4 times. Kabul, Afghanistan 3 times. You got that? Don't be bloody rude, said Annie. I'm not, he said. Of course I've got that. I can read, unlike you. I got that you'd been to Russia last year till you decided you hadn't. That was a typo. I got most of what you said, including the ridiculous, meaningless strings of words. I'm just so tired right now, so don't ask me if I've got it. Sorry. So far, I've got that you've been to Afghanistan and Syria in a 26-year career. I can only assume you aren't much good as a soldier, so just get the occasional undesirable posting. I've been in Virginia for almost 20 years, serving as a private soldier, he said, in the US. I knew it, said Annie. You weren't any good and never got promoted. Till all my deployment, both in Syria and Afghanistan. I got promoted, even as a private soldier. You mean you aren't in the US Army? You work for some kind of private army? Are you a mercenary? I'm not a mercenary. Okay, he said. Okay. I grew up alone. I had no one to take care of me. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Said Annie. So are you in the US Army, or do you work for someone's private army? I do so wish you'd type something, anything, that makes sense. This would be so much easier. I had an option to join the military. I had no certifications. I had to school and work also as a private soldier till when I got my papers from school. I had to sit for a promotion examination. Please stop typing ridiculous, irrelevant rubbish, said Annie. Are you in the US Army, or do you work for private army somewhere? I'm hoping, if I type it in capitals, you might be able to read it, because I begin to think that as well as thick and stupid, you're illiterate. How old are you? 16? You're really abusing me, right, he said, calling me an illiterate. But you are illiterate, said Annie. You've barely answered anything I've asked, and when you have, it's been meaningless or irrelevant. So you're either illiterate, or you're deliberately lying and refusing to type anything sensible. Take your pick. That doesn't mean you should abuse me, he said. Because you're deliberately being an idiot. What are you expecting? Praise? It's okay now, he said. I was hoping for a sensible conversation with an experienced military gentleman, not the illiterate ramblings of an imbecile. I know. Why don't we start again? Tell me what you really do, and where you really are. A proper, sensible, mature, adult answer, assuming you are a proper, sensible, mature adult. You're right, he said. When I have my vacation, then we will have to sit and talk. Right, about you being a rambling, illiterate imbecile, said Annie. Hey, stop it! So clearly the US Army wouldn't employ you. I've had enough of this. So why don't you tell me what you really do, please? You aren't alone, said Annie. I've had enough of your rambling, illiterate lies. So either tell me what you really do, please, or go away and grow up. Clearly you're too stupid to work in military security. I doubt if you even know what it means. So last chance, tell me what you really do, or go away. Okay, have a lovely day, he said. Too much of a coward to admit you're the office cleaner. If you think that ridiculing others gives you peace, I was hoping you'd stop lying and tell me what you really do. I'm not an office cleaner, he said. But I guess lying is what gives you peace. The washer up in the canteen? Okay, hold on, he said. What do you really do? Asked Annie. Oh, wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. It gets better. As in, really, honestly, genuinely do. Obviously, you aren't a security advisor in the army. Even a brain-dead moron like you must know how ridiculous that sounds. And clearly telling me you live in a $91 million house was the most ridiculous of all the lies. am into a financial growth institute, he said. Also, a trader in binary-stroke Bitcoin mining. That's how I got my money. Yeah, right, and I'm Queen Nefertiti, said Annie. I guide people on how to trade Bitcoin, and I'm proud of it. Oh, go on, said Annie. Show me your impressive Bitcoin trading knowledge. It can't be worse than your army knowledge. Oh, yes it can, Annie. Because it fetched me money without having to sweat before getting paid. Go on, give me the benefit of your extensive Bitcoin trading knowledge. I can hardly wait. How'd you do it? Meaningless collections of random words won't count as answers. Bitcoin mining, Google informed him, is the basic way you can grow your Bitcoin. The primary purpose of mining is to allow Bitcoin nodes to reach a secure, tamper-resistant consensus. And how do you grow your Bitcoin when mining currently has a negative return? It can't be under my control, he said. That isn't what I asked you. I asked, how do you grow your Bitcoin by mining when mining currently has a negative return? I know you're illiterate, so maybe read that slowly before you answer. And I'll just insert a very basic explanation of Bitcoin mining and why the return is currently negative. Bitcoin mining, as I understand it, is done by a special kind of computer. They're power hungry, they consume a lot of energy, and they're very expensive to buy. You can buy one and use it yourself, but you only have one machine. The chances of one machine actually mining a Bitcoin are minuscule. The large companies have entire warehouses full of mining machines, and people buy in to a share of a mining pool. This screenshot was taken today, the 1st of March. If you do a little bit of maths on it, on that first line, where it says that you'll lose $1.58 per day if you mine an average of 0.00117 Bitcoin, multiplying both sides by 10 enough times, I think, means that you'll lose around $15,000 a year if you invest enough in Bitcoin mining to mine an average of 1 Bitcoin. The number of new Bitcoins being mined each year has reduced steadily, and it will cease altogether once 21 million Bitcoin are in circulation. What our man was referring to, or at least was trying to refer to, was Bitcoin trading. You can trade the price of Bitcoin against the price of other currencies, just the same way that people do Forex trading. And as I think I've said before in other videos, in the UK at least, that's classed as a form of gambling. You can make a lot of money very quickly, and also you can lose a lot of money very quickly. If it goes negative, he said, I must pay back the amount owed. So you aren't making money by mining, you're losing it. Try again with your impressive Bitcoin trading knowledge. In fact, I suggest you get out of mining so you don't lose any more money. Assume you do know the difference between mining and trading. Yes, I do, he said. And then Google helped him out again. Cryptocurrency may be a virtual currency, but its value can never go negative, said Google. In short, the value of a cryptocurrency cannot be worth less than $0. What on earth does that have to do with anything? Said Annie. Please don't copy and paste. You do know the difference between a negative value and a negative return, or maybe you don't. So we now agree you're too stupid to understand Bitcoin mining. So try your impressive knowledge of Bitcoin trading, which is what you claim you do. I may not be good enough to punctuate an answer correctly, he said, but I make lots of money in it, thank you. Awesome, but we agree you don't understand mining, so tell me about trading. You didn't punctuate that stupid bit about Bitcoin never going negative. You copied and pasted it, but you obviously have no idea what it means, so tell me about the trading that you do. Mining is much riskier than trading, has the potential to earn you a return on your investment. No, Zanny, you're going to tell me about trading. I just told you about mining, remember? You're going to tell me about the trading that you do. Okay. Awesome. How much worth of Bitcoin do you wish to mine? He asked. No, said Annie. We've agreed Bitcoin mining is given a negative return, remember? Do please at least pretend you can read. You are going to tell me about your trading. Assume you know the difference between mining and trading. Or maybe you don't. It seems our man didn't, because at this point he disappeared. But there's also an episode 3, and in episode 3, events take an unexpected turn. I hope you enjoyed this tale of a reformed scammer who continued scamming. If you did, please like it, please share it, please comment down below, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another video.